It's time again to put myself through the pain and the torture of a Zwift FTP Ramp Test. I want to make the best use of the next 6 weeks before the little one arrives, and I want to get back on and do a couple of workouts. But to do that, I need an FTP level set more accurately than what it was before. And I chose the Zwift Ramp Test because that's my preferred way of doing it. You can decide whether that's an accurate way of doing it or not. I have done the System Full Monty previously, and the Zwift FTP Ramp Test as well. Historically, those have come out about 243 was my highest FTP. And given the fact that I've not really been riding a lot in the last few months, I'm going to be quite happy probably at anything over 200. 210 maybe I'll be quite happy with. But it's time to give this one a go. I won't go through too much of the detail because I've done that in a few FTP tests that I've done before. If you want to take a look at those, check out the main page of the YouTube channel and just search for FTP and you can see the different ones that I've done. But they start with this 5-minute free ride, which I'm about to end in 10 seconds time. Go up to a minute at 100, and then every minute after that, it steps up by 200 watts. I've got my trainer in erg mode, so it does it automatically for me. And you just go until you cannot go any longer. And your legs say no. That is the point at which you stop, and it takes your average over the previous 60 seconds and creates an estimation of your FTP. I picked a route in Scotland. I've not done this route before. It goes, I can't remember what it's called, but it goes over the hill in the middle, back again, and then back up to the top of the hill. I thought I might as well try and tick off a route that I've not done again whilst I'm putting myself through this pain. And when it drops to this 100 watts, as it says on the screen now, early box, just find the blocks, find the rhythm, stay seated, find the rhythm, and 100 watts is really, really easy. In fact, for the first, I don't know, from 100 to 160 watts, I find it quite difficult to tell the difference in the power I'm putting out, to be honest. But this is just about to step up, 6 minutes into this test, up to 120 watts. Relatively easy going at the moment. So, 9 minutes in, I've just stepped up to the 180 watts. I'm starting to feel now that I'm going to have to press the pedals down a little bit. It's not as easy. And you can see the red marker in the distance, which I find really weird. I still feel that's a target I've got to get to, and I've got to rush to that line. Despite it being in erg mode and it controls everything for you, it's just a weird mental thing to get over. I probably wasn't at my best before doing this. I had a bit of a headache and just a bit of a twinge in my knee, but I just didn't want to put it off anymore. I've got to get on. I've got to get the FTP test done. I've got to get back on the bike. And I didn't want to use excuses anymore. So who knows if that's going to affect the outcome of this. But I didn't want to put it off any longer. But we're just about to come up into the 10-minute mark to step up to 200. I'm feeling okay at the moment. Not too bad. The one thing about these FTP ramp tests, though, is they go from easy to really, really hard really, really quickly. So I'll be keeping an eye on I know I'm going to get into that zone, sort of the mid 200s where it's going to start feeling a bit more difficult. Just about to go over the line to start at 240. You see me reach out there. That's me turning my music up because I am starting to feel it a bit here. And it even says on the screen the tunnel should be starting to darken a bit. I like the motivational messages that come up on the screen. They kind of keep you focused on certain things, keep you relaxed, making sure you're relaxed in the saddle, focusing on the cadence, and trying to take your mind off the pain that you know is about to come. As I said, I'm starting to feel it a little bit, not too bad. But the thing about these FTP tests is the build up of effort in your legs. If you go for a casual ride and then suddenly hit 500 watts, you could hold that for a while. But you've had the build up of the minutes at the 220s, the 200s, and as you go further up, all of that has a cumulative effect on your legs. But managing it, you can see I'm breathing a bit harder now, starting to feel it a little bit, but heading towards the 240 watts mark, and I'm doing okay. Midway through the 260 watts here, and it's just another one of those mental things. I'm currently going downhill, but going downhill doing 260 watts, where I'd normally be backing right off and coasting down a little bit. So it's just another one of those mental things to get over. Starting to really feel it now. knowing that actually, in my mind, I was thinking, how far did I get in the last one? Was I into I think I was into the 300s. I'm feeling this earlier than that, and I'm starting to second guess myself, feel like I should be doing better. You can see my face, actually. I'm starting to struggle a little bit now. We've gone up to the 280, and I've really felt that step up, which is a little bit earlier than I would have hoped, I think. I should have looked back at a previous FTP test before I did this one to kind of have in my mind about where I'd start to feel the pain, because I thought I got around the 340s to 360s and I wouldn't be feeling it quite at this level. But we're at the bottom of this hill now. It levels off, and I'm about to step up to the 300 watts. And that is a weird thing. That archway is early because I've got to go around the roundabout and back to pass through the archway, which completely threw me off, as it did when I was talking about it then as well, which is a weird thing about my my selection of route here. But about to turn around and go back up the hill and start 300 watts. I now really starting to feel it, I've got to be honest, and I thought to myself, I need to just try and keep my cadence, just keep it going. I was aiming all the way through for somewhere between 85 and 90, not focusing on it too much, but that was kind of always in my head. I was always checking where my cadence was. You can see my face now really, really starting to feel it. Still sticking to 300 watts, and then I just had to drop the cadence. I don't know why my mind thought it, but just lower the cadence and see if I can just push through the legs. That was a bad idea because I just lost all momentum. I'm down at 68, 69 now. 60 I saw there, and everything's dropping off, and that was it. I was done. A lot sooner than I would have hoped that I would have been. You can probably see the disappointment on my head. I'm shaking my head. See the disappointment on my face. I'm kind of thinking, have I even hit anywhere near where I want to be? And then the FTP result popped up on the screen at 220, which, again, you can see my initial reaction. Sort of, oh, okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. 220, I'm kind of happy with that. 243 was my best, so not too far away, and something to build on going forward. And now, a nice cool down at 75 watts. Frustrating thing about erg mode is it whacked the training difficulty right up, and just trying to get those legs started again when you just hit that wall, you can't go any more. You just want the erg mode to kick in to ease off the pedals again. But I got there, and actually I went back up to the top of this hill, down the other side, kind of got to the top after a 10-minute cool down. I went down the other side and then decided to go back up again to the middle to complete the route as well. Here I am, just jumping over the line for the route badge. I don't know why I'm punching the air. I'm happy I think that I got a route badge. But not as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be during that ride, and not getting as far in before I found it as difficult as I did. But actually pleasantly surprised with 220, and as I said, it's something to build from and to use in any workouts coming up in the near future. So yeah, not too bad. FTP test done then, 220 watts, as I said there, probably better than I was expecting it to be, and gives me something to use going forward in workouts. Now, what am I going to do going forward? I'm not going to do a workout schedule. I want to do something I'm excited to get on the bike and do. So I want to make sure that I make the T2.5 rise, the Tuesday trundle, and the race on a Thursday. Then I would still like to do some sort of workout. So I know Zwift do their weekly workouts, so I might use the FTP test, my FTP 220, and do one of those workouts every week, the Zwift workout. Then maybe another ride or race within that as well. One of the feedbacks that I got from a video a couple of weeks ago was just about maybe doing non-T2.5 stuff. So I thought if I can have a look out and see some of the races that happen, maybe I can join that. And then any other time that I've got, just do some sort of zone 2 slow rides, just to get on the bike and just do some casual riding. Which I think that just a nice mix of stuff will be quite exciting and get me on the bike. So nothing specifically scheduled, but some sort of structure in the things that I want to do going forward. You could probably hear I've still got, and apologies if you could hear it on the voiceover, I've still got a bit of a, I don't know what it is, just chesty. It's just, all it's doing is affecting my voice. It's really quite annoying. Hopefully it won't last too much longer. And you would have noticed as well, the camera didn't have the usual effect of blowing out the background. I just couldn't get the NVIDIA software to do it for some reason. I even tried restarting the PC, but it just didn't want to work this time. So don't know whether that'll work going forward, but we shall find out. Yeah, I'm happy to have got that FTP test done, and I've got some fun stuff coming up. We've got the race tomorrow, as you see this video. If you're watching this the day it comes out, tomorrow is the T2.5 race, 6:30 UK time. Information is in the description below if you want to come along to that. I think this week is the TT week, which some people love and some people tolerate. Maybe that's the right word for it. But that is tomorrow night. So if you want to come along, do join on the link in the description below. I have a work thing tomorrow. I'm going to be rushing to get back on time for that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, FTP test done. I'm actually enjoying being back on the bike, so that is a good thing. Long may that continue until everything goes out the window when the little one gets here. But that is the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, do hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.